Before we start, I've got very many people asking me, is it still possible? Is it possible for Arsenal to go and get the football player Benjamin Sesko? And I've got verified information from Sky Sports, and Sky Sports has gone on and posed this. Could Arsenal force a Benjamin Sesko deal before deadline day? And this is what we talk about when we talk about verified information. So Sky Sports has gone on and said, of course, money definitely talks. And every football player has got a price, and that is absolutely right. Every football player has a price, and they go on and say, but right about now, the indication is that if Arsenal truly want to sign Benjamin Sesko this winter, they will need to put an enormous amount of money on table, which is very, very, very true. And they go on and say, it would have to be an offer that RB Leipzig simply cannot refuse. And I absolutely agree with them. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's get the party started right about now. As you definitely know, my name is Abu Kals, and I'm going to be bringing to you everything that you definitely know, you want to know. And I'm saying welcome back to the Arsenal podcast. And this is your boy, your everyday boy, Abu Kals. And today we're diving straight into the latest Arsenal transfer news from Benjamin Sesko's future to latest on Matheus Cunha, and also an approach for the football player Dusan Vlahovic. There is a lot to unpack with the transfer window really closing soon. There is a lot to talk about. So Arsenal are under immense pressure, to make sure that they can strengthen the squad following injuries to key football players like Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus. So grab a seat and let's break down all the latest news, the transfer rumors and insights surrounding the football club Arsenal's January transfer business right about here at the Arsenal podcast with me, your very host Abu Kals. So let's start with Benjamin Sesko, ladies and gentlemen. We know that RB Leipzig striker was being heavily linked with Arsenal in recent weeks. The 21-year-old has already proven himself as one of Europe's most exciting young talents, with 8 goals in 17 Bundesliga appearances this very season. His height, pace and also clinical finishing make him a striker built for the Premier League. And very many people are still wondering, why isn't he in the Premier League? Because he's one that could definitely impress in the Premier League. And reports suggest that Arsenal have been monitoring the football player Benjamin Sesko closely as a long-term option for the attack. And however, signing Benjamin Sesko in the January transfer window could be, as we saw from Sky Sports, it's not impossible. It could be a bit tricky, a bit hard, but it's not impossible. And we know that RB Leipzig are unwilling to part ways mid-season, especially with their Champions League ambitions still alive. And additionally, a reported asking price of £70 million makes this a very complicated deal to finalize before the window closes. But we know that Arteta's stance has been quite clear. Any new signing must be the right one. Must be the right football player who can contribute immediately, as he said in his press conference, So he said, we need someone that makes us better and makes an impact on the team. Those were his words. So with Benjamin Sesko, we know that he fits the bill, and Arsenal may have to wait until the summer to make a serious move for Benjamin Sesko, the Slovenian striker, or they might have to go for part 2. And what is part 2? Bring in an amount of money that is irresistible for RB Leipzig. And we're talking about a fee that possibly is in the region of 70-80 million pounds. But Arsenal has to do something, because Arsenal isn't in the best of positions when we talk about the striking section. Anyway, it's not impossible. There is still hope for Benjamin Sesko. It's not a goodbye. And you know how the general transfer window can be. You know how the transfers can be. Recently, Mamouche was linked to Arsenal, and then he was linked to Manchester City. And Arsenal was told he cannot be sold. And we watched him move to Manchester City. So this could be the same. This could be the same saga. So just make sure you stick around, because I will be going step by step when it comes to this transfer until possibly he signs. There's a big possibility he's going to sign in this general transfer window, as Sky Sports reported. So Matheus Cunha yet is another football player we need to talk about. We know that Matheus Cunha, the Brazilian forward, has been linked with a potential move to the Emirates Stadium as a more immediate solution to the attack and also the attacking crisis currently at the club Arsenal. And we know that currently plays for Wolves, and Cunha has a Premier League. He's got Premier League experience that Arsenal definitely needs, and his versatility across the front makes him a valuable option. And Cunha has been one of Wolves' standout performers this very season. And very important to note is that his ability to create chances and also work hard off the ball aligns quite well with Mikel Arteta's style of play. However, there is going to be competition for his signature, and the competition is definitely heating up at this moment in time. Reports suggest that Nottingham Forest are preparing a club record bid to allow him away from Wolves. Mikel Arteta was asked about Cunha ahead of the Arsenal match against Wolves, but he chose to focus on the team as a whole, saying that these were his words: "I prefer not to talk about individuals, but Wolves have a lot of quality collectively." Those were his words. Those were words from Mikel Arteta. So the fact is that there is a lot of competition. Arsenal needs to act quick and decisively to make sure they can sign the football player. Whether Arsenal will make a formal bid or Cunha remains whether Arsenal makes a formal bid for Cunha or Arsenal remains a bit reluctant, it's quite evident that Wolves will demand a significant fee if they are to let him go. If they are to let him leave in the general transfer window, then Arsenal need to act quick, very quick, and I mean very quick. Now let's go to Dusan Vlahovic. Let's turn our attention, ladies and gentlemen, to Dusan Vlahovic. We know that Arsenal fans will remember the Serbian striker from last year when the club made a strong push to sign Dusan Vlahovic before ultimately actually joining Juventus. And once again, Vlahovic's name has been linked with Arsenal this January transfer window. So with Juventus facing financial difficulties and also the uncertainty about their future, we know that some reports suggest that Dusan Vlahovic could be available for the right price. However, recent reports indicate that Dusan Vlahovic has decided to stay in Turin for the remainder of the season. So this decision effectively rules out a move for Arsenal in the general transfer window, forcing the club to shift their attention to other targets. So Arteta touched on the challenges of the general transfer market in his press conference, saying that it's quite difficult to depend on just Arsenal or our will. It's a bit difficult. Those were his words. So it depends on the market, and many other factors, which I completely agree with him. So despite setbacks, that Arsenal remains active in exploring other targets and other options, So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to know what you think. I would like to know what you definitely think about these three football players. And still, even when some of them reports say that it could be a bit difficult, you cannot rule a transfer deal out. Whom should Arsenal go for 100%? Out of the three, whom would you really go for if you were Mikel Arteta? Whom would you put your money on? Dusan Vlahovic? Would you put your money on Matheus Cunha? Or you would go for the one and only football player who's also been making rounds, Benjamin Sesko? Otherwise, I think that's what I had for you, ladies and gentlemen. And please subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll definitely see you straight in another video. Thank you and goodbye for now.